CAMRA's currently campaigning to get 1,500 pubs listed as assets of community value. I'm here with Carl from the Aylesbury and Wycombe branch, who's doing some fantastic work in his local area. Carl, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing in Aylesbury and Vale?
Yes, we've nominated so far well over 100 pubs. So far we've got over 70 which have been accepted by local councils as assets of community value. We've of course got around 30 to 40 more which are in the process of being decided on whether or not they are assets of community value by local councils. The reason why we're doing it is simply to give the local population a voice as to what happens to their community assets, and also an opportunity to essentially bid for their village pubs or town pubs that they deem to be essential to their community life.
For those that don't know, could you just give us a bit of explanation about what an asset of community value is and how it actually works in practice?
Yeah, assets of community value are pubs that either have groups or sports teams or hold various meetings for local communities. Basically, that demonstrates that they serve the social well-being and interests of the local community. And councils are obliged to list those pubs if you nominate them.
And how do you actually list an asset of community value?
Each council has its own set ways of nominating an asset of community value. Usually they would have a template form on their website which tells you exactly what they want. Generally the information needed is that you need the land registry details and land registry plans, which can both be gained from CAMRA HQ, but essentially the most important information is what groups and which teams or which meetings take place in the pubs to demonstrate that it is an asset of community value.
Yeah, and what does an asset of community value actually do? So once a pub is listed, what's the importance?
Once a pub is listed, it loses permitted development rights. Unfortunately, at the moment, pubs can be converted into things like betting shops, religious establishments, restaurants, and many other types of businesses, such as offices, without actually needing to go through planning processes.
Yeah.
That means that changes can happen without the local community having a say in it. Once it's listed, the community has an opportunity to have a say as to whether or not it should be converted into one of these alternative uses. And it is probably the most important thing for CAMRA at the moment, is to get these pubs nominated and to remove these permitted development rights. We've essentially started to win on getting real ale into pubs. Now we have to save pubs.
And do you have any advice for CAMRA members that are perhaps a bit less confident with listing pubs as assets of community value with the experience that you've had?
They definitely need to start nominating pubs now. You need to nominate pubs before they're threatened. Once they're threatened, it's often too late, because the nomination period takes 8 weeks. By that time, a pub could be bulldozed, sold, could be converted into another use. You need to nominate them prior to them being threatened. So please go ahead, nominate them.